Good evening from Washington. I'm Larry O'Connor, and I want to begin by thanking you all for tuning in to our special coverage last night of the president's announcement from Mar-a-Lago. It was quite a historic evening. It was great to share that evening together. And well, we've looked at the numbers, and a lot of you were with us. So thank you. Thank you very much for being part of the big night here on Salem News Channel. And thank you for obviously telling all your friends and family about what's going on over here. We're pretty proud of the product we're creating. And we wanted to reward you with kind of a MAGA night tonight. We wanted to get things started with someone who is so MAGA that I'm pretty sure he's tattooed "Make America Great Again" somewhere on his body that you're not allowed to see. He's got an Australian accent. He's an alpha male. He's the one and only Nick Adams, author of the brand new book, The Most Dangerous President in American History. Was this the greatest day of your life yesterday, Nick?
I was pretty excited, Larry O'Connor, almost as excited as I am to be on your show. Look, I thought President Trump was sensational last night. He looked good. He sounded good. He was serious, disciplined, focused. He looked like he meant business. And I think it's just great news for the country. I'm excited again when he contrasted his record with Joe Biden. I mean, I think that's the way that he's going to not only easily win this nomination, in my view, but also go on and win the general. If he can just focus on illuminating that contrast of his incredible record with the pathetic, horrible, awful, evil, and dangerous record of Joe Biden, it's a winner, Larry.
Yeah, well, that was the most powerful part of the presentation and certainly dominated the presentation. He really did lay a contrast to his presidency pre-COVID and then what we've endured for the last 2 years. And this does bring us to your book that's just out yesterday, The Most Dangerous President in American History. We know that Biden is a disaster. Why do you think he's so dangerous?
Oh, where do I begin? The trouble that I had, Larry, with this book, and you'll appreciate this because you're in the media and you've got to really present things in a concise and pithy kind of way in order to make sure that it remains attractive for people. You don't want to give them an encyclopedia. But when it comes to how dangerous Joe Biden is, it really is quite like writing an encyclopedia, or you could easily do it. So that was the real challenge. Where do we begin? Is it his very clear mental, cognitive decline, his clear signs of dementia? Is it the people that are very clearly pulling the strings behind him and the agenda that they have to transform the United States of America? Is it his policies that in every single way have hurt everyday ordinary Americans? Is it the fact that he's placed us practically on the brink of World War III in many ways with his actions in relation to world affairs? There's so many different ways to see just how dangerous this guy is.
Nick, I'm curious, you mentioned, who's pulling the strings. A lot of people in this town, in D.C., have different opinions about who's really in charge in this White House. Do you venture in your book to make a guess there? Who do you think's really in charge?
Well, we do, Larry. We go into it in great detail, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but I can tell you right now that it's Obama people, generally speaking. It is the Obama world that is running Joe Biden. And they have Joe Biden, Larry O'Connor, right where they want him, senile and in the White House.
Well, that brings us back to Donald Trump, because clearly he sent the message yesterday that his focus, I was very happy that his focus was not on other Republicans. He sort of suggested that he was going to start going after Ron DeSantis and Glenn Youngkin with a couple of his statements last week, but he made last night all about what he wants to do and what about Joe Biden he wants to stop. But Nick, how do you respond when people are concerned that we have a good deep bench with the Republicans, and there may be some Republicans who want to challenge Donald Trump for the primary? How do you respond to those who are concerned that Trump's going to do what Trump often does, and that's sort of destroy everybody else in the field personally?
Look, Larry, first of all, politics is politics. And I know that we like to live in a world because we know who the true enemy is. We like to live sometimes in a more idealized world. And unfortunately, that idealized world doesn't always correlate with reality. The truth is that politics is a contest, and there might be other people that are running for president. Donald Trump, as we know, is a very primal guy. I don't like it when he attacks Ron DeSantis. I don't enjoy it. But I do understand that it is part of the political process. When you want to win, the idea is to either make sure that that person doesn't enter or to weaken them in the eyes. And I think that's really what Donald Trump is doing. Donald Trump is firing off these warning shots, Larry, because he knows if DeSantis gets in, everybody gets in. Nikki Haley gets in, Tim Scott gets in, Mike Pompeo, Mike Pence is already in there. So he wants to stop, I think, this whole conga line of candidates lining up like it was in 2016. And he figures that the best way to do that is to kind of show Ron DeSantis that, listen, you're going to get bloodied if you get into this. Stay away, wait your turn, wait 4 years, it's still my go. I think that's what we're seeing. Is it pretty? No, it's not. Is it part of politics? Yes, it is. I will say this, Larry. After last night, I would be very surprised. I think last night would have deterred a lot of people that were thinking about entering the race effectively.
Okay. Well, and that actually brings me to our next question, because there's a lot of people that I talk to in the inner circles, Mar-a-Lago land, MAGA land, whatever you want to call it, that really have openly said that the president is entitled to run as an incumbent, that anybody who does want to challenge him for the nomination, even if it's somebody who he has worked closely with, like Mike Pompeo, like Governor DeSantis, or like some other governors who have been very Trump-friendly, if they jump into the race, he would see it as a sign of personal betrayal. Do you agree with that?
Well, if you're asking me how Donald Trump would perceive it, I mean, potentially I can certainly see that the president may feel that way. Would I feel that way? No, I don't think I would feel that way. But given what President Trump sacrificed for the country, what he had to endure, all the fake stuff, all the impeachments, the everyday, non-stop, incessant barrage from, this is a guy, Larry, we've got to remember, I mean, he took on everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean everybody, the whole world. So I can understand that he feels that he has unfinished business. And for people that were alongside him in the trench, all of a sudden to be trying to kind of push him to go behind the scenes and kind of disappear, I can imagine how that would be. It wouldn't be an enjoyable process.
I guess the thought process is there are different leaders for different times, is what I'm hearing from some people who think we love Trump, thought he was great, but now is a different time, and it's now time for different leadership. Real fast, Nick, and I do mean really fast. Would you work in the Trump administration if he offered you a job, and what job would you like?
Absolutely, in a heartbeat. I'm not seeking any job, Larry. I serve at the pleasure of the president. That's what I told him last time when I was asked about an appointment, and I got one, and I would do the same thing wherever I can help the country and wherever I can help Larry O'Connor.
I mean, it's a no-brainer. You need to be the social media manager. You need to handle all of the tweets on behalf of the White House. We got to make the White House an alpha male White House, Nick.
We certainly need more alpha males in the White House. That's damn sure.
All right, Nick, you're always entertaining. I appreciate you joining us. We'll talk again. His book is The Most Dangerous President in American History. Spoiler alert, it's Biden. More to come on O'Connor Tonight.